Hey there, and welcome to my review of Metal Max 2 Reloaded. It's just as good as Metal Max 3, so go watch my review of that game. Thank you. Bye. What's that? The video's too short? It has to be close to 10 minutes? This joke has gone on long enough? Fine. I'll actually review the thing. Hey everyone, Mega Blade J here, and this is my review of Metal Max 2 Reloaded for the Nintendo DS. Metal Max 2 Reloaded is a turn-based JRPG set in a post-apocalyptic world. It was made by a Japanese company called Createch and was published by Kadowaka Games for the Nintendo DS in Japan on December of 2011. Reloaded is a remake of the original Metal Max 2, which released on the Super Famicom back on March of 1993. For those of you not familiar with the Metal Max series, it takes place in a post-apocalyptic world. Basically, humans created a supercomputer AI named Noah for the purpose of stopping global warming and saving the planet. And of course, it went as well as you would expect. It pulled an Ultron and decided that to save the world, it would need to get rid of the creatures currently destroying it, humans. So it launched a bunch of nukes and made an army of killer toasters and mutants to wipe out humanity. It was eventually stopped, but not before it had killed most of the humans. Now the survivors fight for scraps in the wasteland, just trying to survive. Our story follows a hero on a quest for revenge. One day, on a job with your bounty hunter foster mom. Holy crap. Goddamn! Oh man. I really miss it when characters were designed like this. Alright. Yeah, so one day on your job with your stupidly hot foster mom, disaster strikes. A group of thugs called the Bias Grapplers and their leader, Ted Broiler, attack the town you're assigned to protect. They burn your entire group to a crisp, with you as the sole survivor. Swearing revenge, you begin your journey to track down Ted Broiler and the rest of the Bias Grapplers. While the story may not be very deep, the main draw of the Metal Max series is its fun gameplay and a vast wasteland to explore. The game is very similar to that of Metal Max 3 and seems to be running on the same engine. As such, it reuses a lot of the gameplay mechanics. And honestly, that's not a bad thing, as 3 was a fun game. Like the Fallout series, you explore and battle your way through a large, post-apocalyptic wasteland. There are a few story gates where a boss must be beaten to reach a new area, but besides that, you're pretty much given free range to explore and take on any side mission you stumble on. And there are a ton of side missions. Every town you visit will have a number of NPCs with problems that only you can fix. They vary from collecting a certain number of items, battling enemies, or taking out a special boss monster. They're worth completing as they can reward you with items, money, and access to new areas. Combat is about the same as Metal Max 3. Battles are still turn-based, and you can have a party of 4 members at a time. Your party can consist of either the original game's main cast, or you can create your own party from a set of classes. The Hunter class is well-rounded and is pretty good at dealing damage with all forms of weapons. They also have skills great in tracking down certain monsters and bounties. Soldiers can use strong human weapons, deal great damage, and have high defense. They have skills that let them draw enemy attention, attack, or use items twice in one turn. Medics are your healers. They kinda suck at fighting, have low defense and HP, but can revive the dead and heal the party. Engineers look cool, but suck in general. And as far as I can tell, are only good for making powerful bullets for your tank. Mechanics are also pretty bad at attacking, but are absolute beasts in a tank. They're also the only class that can repair broken parts or refill the shield on a tank. Very important for tougher boss fights. Wrestlers not only have the best design, but are absolute god tier in combat. They may not be able to equip most weapons and suck with tanks, but they have the hardest hitting special attacks and can absolutely wreck a boss if used properly. You can only have 3 human party members, with your 4th spot reserved for a canine companion. While useful, you don't have control over them, with it doing its own thing in combat. It was a bit annoying not being able to directly control the dog, but the AI was good enough to where I never need to worry about them in a fight. One neat new feature is that each character can take on a subclass. This means you can have a hunter who can also heal your party, or a soldier that can use the wrestler's devastating physical attacks. This was a great addition and made it so you don't miss out on abilities from a class you don't like. One thing that makes the Metal Max series different from other JRPGs is its use of tanks in battle. You will eventually be able to rent, buy, or just find a tank out in the field. Using a tank gives you a major boost in offense and defense, as well as acting as a second life gauge. Parts for your tank can be bought at towns or found while exploring dungeons. From choosing and upgrading weapons, making sure you're not overloaded, or upgrading your engine so you can carry more weapons and health, there is a crazy amount of customization options for your tanks. Upgrading your tank may seem daunting at first, but it's very important, as they are the key to surviving tougher boss fights such as Bounties. Bounties are optional boss fights that are scattered around the map. Some can be found in dungeons, while others can surprise you in a random encounter. They are tough, employ a number of unique powers and attacks, and can wipe you out if you're not prepared. Not only do they provide a good challenge, but a reward can be claimed for their defeat. It varies depending on the monster, but usually yields a crap ton of money and are your main source of income when buying the more expensive tank parts. As said before, the game looks to be using the same engine as Metal Max 3 and seems to reuse a lot of assets like NPCs and enemy sprites. As such, the game looks and sounds just as good in Reloaded. The game uses 2D sprites for characters and enemies, with 3D models for its backgrounds, but very rarely will use an impressive 3D character model for an important story event. The game was only released in Japan, but there is a fan translation online. It was done by a group called the Metal Dreamers. This is the same group that translated Metal Max 3, and they did a fantastic job on both games. Thank you for letting us in the West enjoy this great series, and I'm looking forward to seeing what else this group will do. If you want a physical copy of the game, it's getting a bit pricey. The lowest I've seen was $100, with the max being up to like $250 for a game in case. Overall, I enjoyed playing Metal Max 2 Reloaded. The world was fun to explore, there was plenty of side quests and NPCs to interact with. It took me over 70 hours to beat, has fun combat, and tons of tank customization options. If you're a fan of the Metal Max games, or of open world RPGs in general, I highly recommend this one. This has been Megablade J. My channel has now reached over 900 subscribers. This is crazy. Once again, I want to thank you for taking the time to watch my tiny little channel here. It's grown so much over the last few years, and it's all thanks to you all. Once again, thank you. If you're new and enjoyed the video, leave a comment, like, and subscribe for more playthroughs, reviews, and horrible attempts at entertaining you all. Thanks again, and I'll see you all next mission. Okay, now to wait for someone to translate the fourth game. It was on the 3DS, and looks really neat. Is he riding that girl like a bike? What the fuck? Okay, but seriously though, what the hell is up with the cover for 4? He is literally riding her like a bike. Oh my god. For real. Metal Dreamers, please, get on this. I need to know what the hell is up with this. I mean, look at this. Okay. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.